You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers, but we got JD from Wisco. What's going on?
Hey, Ryan. How you doing, my man? It's JD. Yeah, man. So just been listening to the your points on Tucker Craft and Bears fans. You know, I think the reason, and this is just Bears fans in general, I think the reason why they can't figure anything out is because you're talking, when you explain things to them, it's just, they don't get that stuff. You know, like this whole axis, XY axis, charts and graphs and all that stuff, that's over their heads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
You got to talk down to their level so that they understand, basic stuff, like basic math and things like that.
I should try that sometime. I mean, I'm guessing if you listen, it's because you don't super like that kind of content, but just one time I should try and just do a full, like, Colin Cowherd style, Chicago Bears fan style podcast of just, just because vibes, bruh, just like, come on, everybody knows.
You might have to, maybe put together like a Sesame Street guide or something like that for how numbers work and things like that, so that they understand how these things work and how you figure out how people are, football playing, because maybe through.
If you think I'm not going to rush to friggin' Grok right now and see if I can put together some kind of a Sesame Street, hi kids, hi Bears fans, welcome.
Learning plus and minus and all and chart.
Friggin' Big Bird.
Maybe they can get up to that level and understand how football players really work, and then they would understand that, that their guys are kind of mediocre. But then, their arrogance and whatever probably wouldn't matter anyway. You argue with them and say that the sky is blue, and they would probably argue with you and tell you, no, man, it's green. And then go.
It would still be a nice little video to have every time you bring up basic statistics, and they're like, oh, DVOA, brr, EPA. Pfft. You just throw that up there of like, here's a nice little explainer video that's kind of on your level to help you understand this.
It's a war. That die on that hill. But it's just a thought, because
you're
the other Vikings fans and Lions fans, they get it, right? I think they're just happy with just being like, yeah, we got our guys, we're good. We're gonna sit over here and be cool with what we have and not try to argue our points down. Bears fans just
to that point, tomorrow on the show, so we did, the Bears this morning, or Caleb this morning. Tomorrow we're going to dig a little bit into the Vikings fans and Kyler. And there's a little bit, especially in the first video. I mean, the guy's a pretty well-known homer. But, even he was somewhat reasonable, I think. And then you got to this other podcast where they were entirely reasonable, with the exception of one thing that kind of set me off, and we went on a little bit of a tangent that wasn't quarterback related. But you can just hear the thought process similar to like the way everything is a caveat. Everything before I get, obviously this, that, but, X, Y, and Z kind of thing. There just seems to be more of that. And maybe it's social media more so than their content creators, although Danny Parkins is like one of their content creators, and what's that other freaking guy that I forget about now? The main troll, and they're just so freaking trolly, man. They're just so trolly that it's I don't think you even believe. I don't think you can convince me that you're this dumb. I think this is just elite trollery.
Just want to prove everybody what we need to do. Like the Packers, that's why they need to so everybody will just shut up.
Oh, we missed the good part.
And just shut up for a little while, especially Bears fans, so they can just shut up.
If you could just do me a favor real quick. And
we could just tell them, see, this is where you'll never be.
Yeah.
Okay? See, this stuff, you're never going to be here. So, bye. You know?
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen. That's why we need to get to the Super Bowl so bad.
Right.
It's not for the glory so much. It's just so that Bears fans will shut up.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, that's all I got. You have a good day.
Well, lot for me to digest there. A lot of great points, a lot of great thoughts. And I think you're right. I actually made one of the songs on Tundra FM yesterday was kind of geared toward that. That's kind of the fun part about doing the whole Tundra FM thing. You know, part of it at this point, most of the songs that I've done have already played on Tundra FM. There's not a ton left that we haven't done. So it's a matter of going back in and finding them, but also then creating new songs. And so there's two parts to that. Number one is finding like a cool song, sound, rhythm, beat, something that I want to use without being so repetitive. I mean, when you do songs every day, you realize, man, I'm running out of genres here, so I'm digging into some weird stuff, which I'm guessing you've probably noticed, which is good. Like, I like it, but it's like that's super wild sounding. But then the other part is topics. Like, what the heck do we frickin' talk? Like, the same thing. And even the lyrics are like, I got to start telling them, like, please don't ever say Tundra ever again. Like, you can't say Tundra ever again. Green and Gold. Like, just let's take a break from Tundra and Green and Gold. It gets so frickin' repetitive. Anywho, one of the songs I think from yesterday was kind of about that topic of like, enough is enough with all this bull crap and everybody's talking and everybody's over here chiming in. We have to get to the point, and you have to earn it. You can't just say it. And that's to your point of why we need to win a Super Bowl. Or at the very least, reclaim the North and get the furthest in the playoffs. That's the bare minimum. But there needs to be that understanding again, like there was for so long during the Aaron Rodgers tenure and the Brett Favre tenure, that this is our freaking division. And I love Jordan. And Jordan's a good quarterback, and it is not on him. Like this whole situation is not on him. But you know, that is a thing that he doesn't have. You know, and I don't know if it's a matter of pride. You know, I again, when I forget who it was, Randall Cobb or whatever, somebody asked about how the Bears are winning now, and he's like, I'm going to pass the mic because that never happened when I was here. You know, there was, even though we maybe didn't appreciate it, I think a sense of like, we will not lose to this frickin' team. We're not losing to the Bears. We're not losing to the Vikings. We're not losing to the Lions. And they did on occasion. But there seemed to be more of an ability to rise to that occasion than maybe what we're seeing from the current regime. And so, again, I can't put that all on Jordan, but I want him to be able to be able to carry that sort of swagger as well. Like the team with him at the helm being a team that, if nothing else, this is our division. You ask for permission to do anything in this division. If you are the Vikings, the Lions, or the Bears, the question is, will we be able to unseat the Packers? That's the question. Even if you do it, we need to reclaim that question of who is going to challenge the Packers this year, because that's what we've lost, and that's what we need to get back. Anyways, man, again, great call. I don't want to forget any of this stuff, so I got to set some of these things aside, but let me just pull up a little window here. All right, I got the image. Let's see what it sounds like. So Grok is working pretty fast on their stuff. It's getting a lot better, but the audio for AI is what's usually the worst right now. Let's see what this sounds like in a second. In the meantime, while we wait, let's go with Randy from Minnesota.
Hi, Ryan. It's Randy in Minnesota.
Howdy.
I just want to touch base. I don't know if you have read this, but that renowned football mind / douchebag, Adam Shine, actually went out and said that Rodgers and McCarthy are going to have a better year than Love and LaFleur. And I'm just thinking, what planet is this clown on? And they just got to be throwing stuff out there for clickbait type and to get people just to look at them. But this is ridiculous, the amount of just disregard that the major media outlets have for Green Bay. Maybe it's because they don't want to cover Green Bay in the cold. They're kind of hoping they go bye-bye. But it's just absolutely nuts. And I was listening to, it was Nico, I believe, yesterday, talking about the offensive firepower of the Green Bay, what they have this year, how they're all going to be together. And it kind of got me thinking, I really have not been as excited about our offense as I am this year since the days of Rodgers, Jordy, Driver.
That's a good point.
That whole crew, when they were together and just clicking, that got me thinking. I think this is going to be a lot like that kind of team where we were scoring in the mid-30s every game. And it's, really, really got me excited. Thank you for that, Nico. Kind of spurred me to take a look at that a little bit. Appreciate it. And anyway, that's all I got. Go Pack, go. Bye.
Yeah, and that is the goal. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, the coach doesn't put his foot on the gas and all that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, when you look at it, a lot of people, what they'll say is something like, we need to get back to when we put our foot on the gas. And it's like, I think what you're really getting at is that there are times when the offense was better than at other times where we scored more points. And I think that's a function of how good our football team is. And I know that it can look like that, not only because of the score, but based on the way that we're running our offense. But the way we're running our offense, a lot of the time is going to depend on what we have at our disposal. If we don't have the tools to run it up to 40, and you try to run it up to 40, you're going to burn out the engine. You know what I mean? There's just, sometimes it's got to be a little bit more, I don't want to say delicate, but kind of. I mean, it's, you're scratching and clawing for every yard here to try to get down the field. Whereas, if you got the freaking tools, man, you can uncork it. And what's going to be very annoying, assuming this works, although I will happily take this level of annoyance, this is the good kind of annoyance, but what's going to happen, in my mind, assuming, again, everybody stays healthy and Golden looks good and Watson is dominant and Tucker is dominant and Jacobs is able to, as a result of that and hopefully some improved offensive line play, really get moving. As a result of that, we're going to see 30 to 40 points in games. And what you're going to have are these fans who are going to take credit and say, see, I was right. He just needed to unleash Jordan and he needed to put his foot on the gas and stop playing so conservative. And now that he listened to me, now we're actually doing it. Bro, I promise, first of all, it's not because of you. And it's not because you were right. It's that Matt LaFleur wants to score 50 points. I promise you that. He's not preventing us from doing that. He just is trying to find ways to win games with crippled offenses. And when he's not crippled anymore, it's a lot easier to do whatever you want. And what he wants, this is the other thing that's kind of silly about it, is to push the ball down the field. This was a point, I think I saved it somewhere, but probably not. I forget exactly what it was, but I heard it and I started laughing. Because the entire thing was about how, there's so much aggression in this offense. And Matt LaFleur always wants to push the ball down the field. I'm like, wait a minute. Frickin' which one is it now? But it's true. We are constantly pushing the ball down the field. And so it is hard to say that Jordan's being reined in when he throws the ball 20 yards down the field more than just about any quarterback in the entire NFL. But also he's being held back. Oh, freaking okay. Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur are obsessed with pushing the ball down the field. But sometimes it's just not there. But if we have our full assortment, you're going to start seeing the offense that you want. Not because Matt LaFleur changed his mind and is suddenly aggressive, but because he feels comfortable enough to push the offense in a direction where they can call those plays and they will be successful. At least successful enough that if we make some mistakes, we'll be able to rebound from it, as opposed to if we don't play perfect, we're screwed because we just don't have the horses and we don't have the defense on top of it. So hopefully having, Micah and a good defense on top of that will give them even more confidence to say, screw it, we can be aggressive once in a while because I trust that they're going to get off the field without them scoring points. Anyways, I don't know how we got here, but I'll leave it at that because I do that. So I start running as fast as I can in the middle of the forest, and I stop and look around and go, I'm freaking lost. I don't know where I am. I don't know how I got here. I just started sprinting. But anywho, thanks for the call, Randy. And excitement about the guys for sure. Yeah, we haven't had an assortment like this in quite a while, and with the top end talent because again, Tucker is has top 5 tight end potential, and Watson has top 10 wide receiver potential, and hopefully Golden will demonstrate that he can be of that caliber as well. And Jaden Reed, of course, is a phenomenal, I think, role player that will benefit tremendously if we can have Tucker and Watson healthy, because Tucker and Watson, again, are the guys that help dominate when they play man. When they flip it over to zone is when you have guys like Reed that really step up and start to demonstrate their value and worth. Anyways, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to NFL Stats 101. Today, we'll learn about EPA, expected points added. It's a stat that helps us make smarter plays. For example, going for it on 4th down can add more points than punting.
That has gotten significantly better. So much better, the audio of that. It always had that, machine-sounding thing that was always in the background, but that's quite a bit better. So they're doing a lot over there. That was Big Bird talking, by the way, to a group of Bears fans. The funny thing is, you could make this an ongoing freaking series. Could be almost like a little sitcom. Big Bird and his staff. It's a school for Bears fans teaching different things. He goes to the lounge and just starts smoking cigarettes. He's like, I can't freaking stand these idiots anymore. Guys raising their hand, asking questions. I get what you're saying, but these are just stupid numbers, bro. Like, why do we even need numbers? What does his badge say? I think that's just gibberish. I was like, that would have been funny. It's also like this whole whiteboard is filled out here. EPA equals expected points added, measures value added per decision. EPA equals good play call. There's a chart here. Bears 2023 EPA per game with an arrow going down. There's a. it's freaking impressive. They got the little projector screen up here, and even like the way that the projector lights it up, how it looks, it has that, and it shows expected points added 101 with a chart here. That's freaking impressive stuff. Should I click spicy and make Big Bird do something sexy? Anyways, all right. Big Bird takes his shirt off. Uncle Rico, what up?
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to say that I would think everybody would be a lot more in favor of overseas games if we'd actually pulled it off.
Yeah.
If we'd have went into Brazil and kicked the snot out of the Eagles. Is that who we played, right? The Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, we flopped. We messed it up.
Right.
We looked terrible. Or me,
injuries, the whole thing.
We lost. That's the only thing I remember. I think we got the redhead in trouble, whatever the heck his name is. Haven't heard from him since. Poor guy. I think we ruined his life. He's probably dead. He probably bet the farm on the Packers, and now he's in a shallow grave. So, anyway, yeah, we screwed it up. So if we'd have won that game, people would be a lot more hip on the idea of the Packers traveling. Secondly, Christmas game, yeah, that's pretty stupid. I'd say a large majority of the Packers players, or not Packers players, NFL players in general, are Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NFL is kind of goofing that up. Not winning any favors. I don't know what it's good for. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
I don't know.
I mean, for the most part.
And it is pretty disrespectful, I would say, to kind of treat Christmas like what is that called? Black Friday, like some Amazon shopping event. Like, oh yeah, let's put it on that day. Like, I don't think you're getting it really.
Taverns and whatnot are closed on Christmas Day.
Right, that too.
People already have something to do. They're not looking for something to do. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't know what their business model.
And you can't really say it about Thanksgiving, but if anybody wanted to, it's more Thanksgiving fits. Thanksgiving is eat a big meal, sit down, watch TV. It's a tradition. Putting a football game on during Thanksgiving is not a big deal. Trying to turn, like you said, first of all, the players and everybody else, the thousands of different people that work for the NFL and for the broadcast companies and everybody else that now has to work instead of being home with their families, every single player, coach, front office personnel, they now do not get to spend the majority of the day with their family. But also, people get up. They are early in the morning, at least for us, the tradition, but, you got all your presents. Santa came, you open up all the presents, all that stuff. Maybe you go to somebody else's house, you bring the kids, keep their pajamas on. You go to grandma's house, you open presents at grandma's house. Everybody goes to church at night or during the afternoon or whenever you end up going. I'm not saying this is everybody, but this is a very large portion of the population that has these kinds of plans. And again, one of the bigger issues is, it's not a small thing, especially if you're talking like in-laws or whatever the case may be. It wouldn't be a big issue for me, but I could see a scenario for a lot of people where just even suggesting, hey, I want to watch the game is a problem, like a very serious, I can't believe you just said that kind of problem. And like you said, I don't see the benefit of it. But I guess the NFL sees dollar signs and they're like, I think we make money on this. Let's do it.
We're having a game on Christmas Day. It's football. They have it on Thursday nights because nobody's doing anything else on Thursday nights, and they're on Monday nights because people need a break from having to start the work week out, and they're like, yeah, we got to look forward to football. Anyways, the NFL's freaking dumb. But we all knew that. So,
yeah,
other than that, jazzed up about the upcoming season. I know it's a long ways away. I hate to overlook my whole summer, but it's a thing, You're like, Packers are coming, and you don't even think about all the other things because the Packers are coming. But it's happening. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Rico. Got to go. Bye.
Yeah, I meant to do this. I keep forgetting. I forget who it was. Somebody had mentioned that, their ties to the Packers and everything that's going on is me, so I need to be the one providing all the news and everything. I keep forgetting that I want to try to regularly be like, okay, here's what's going on in the upcoming week. And I never know what day it is anymore, so looking at the calendar doesn't hurt. It is Saturday, apparently, so I don't even need to be doing this podcast today. I could save it for tomorrow. No, I don't think I'll do that. We have Memorial Day on the 25th, and then immediately following the 26th on Tuesdays, Green Bay Packers OTAs Week 1 starts. Not going to delve into all that, but not tomorrow, that podcast is done. 2 days, whatever, Monday's podcast, we'll start talking about OTA. We already have plans, but we may have to forego those to at least mention OTAs and whatnot, so... Anyways, Uncle Rico Part 2.
Yo, Brian, it's your Uncle Rico.
Rico.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I have thoughts on these excuses people come up with why we shouldn't travel to play games. And that's all they are is excuses. Great, it's not ideal. We have to go to wherever and play a football game. So the other team has to travel too. Both teams have to travel. Makes it even. Both teams play on the same crappy field. Makes it even.
Right.
Well, Jordan Love got hurt on that crappy field. Yeah, Jordan Love can get hurt on any field, anytime, any play, including the Clark Hinkle practice field or mowing his front yard. It could happen. Excuses. They're all excuses. We have to show up and play these games. Am I a big proponent of traveling to a play in some weird place? No. I think it's ignorant. We got enough football fans in the U.S. of A. We don't need to be, I don't even know, do they fill these stadiums? I'm not sure. I don't really care. And definitely I think it's ignorant to take a home game out of Lambeau. Would never be a proponent. I would be a strong opponent of that. We need all the home games we can get. But am I okay with going to play anywhere other than traveling to Dallas or anywhere, any of the other teams for a on the road game? Sure, I don't see the difference. If we have to go to France or Paraguay or Sydney, Australia, or friggin' Shanghai, China, I don't care. The other team has to get there too. We have just as good a chance of winning as our opponent. Do I think it's smart? No, but making an excuse for playing poorly and losing the game, those are just excuses.
Right.
Both teams have the same things to endure. And the whole thing but that's the reason Jordan Love got hurt. No, I'm not going with it. Sure, it was a factor, but did every player in the field get hurt? No. Jordan Love got hurt. It's bad luck. Shit happens, type of thing. All right, then. Rico out.
Well, I think you're right, and I think that's part of which I appreciate, this new posture that the NFL has had, because they've always come out and been honest about it, which the honest response is, this sucks, we don't want to do this. But I think what they realized, having sucked playing internationally, is we don't want to perpetuate that kind of a posture to where our, what I just said becomes the way that our team feels, and everybody from the players on up are moping and whining and complaining. So instead, we're going to look at it and be like, we're excited, we can't wait, this is going to be awesome, and we're going to freaking dominate. Because the bottom line is, it is a reality. We are going to be doing this, like it or not. So we need to take on a posture of, not only are we going to embrace it, we're going to take pride in it the way that we do with Lambeau Field. We are going to dominate international games. We are international games. Again, they don't want it. They don't like it. They hope they never get international games. But you can't you can't have it both ways, I guess. You can't be mopey and whiny and say, I don't like it, I don't want to go, and then expect to be a good football team. So the alternative is you embrace it and you say, this is going to be awesome. So I think that is a similar tact that Green Bay has now taken by looking at this and saying, well, if there's no point whining about it, so let's get in there and be great at it.
Yo, Ryan, it's your Uncle Rico.
Yo.
Sorry, I just can't seem to get my crap together.
You're good.
I should probably make myself a friggin' printout and add some notes or something before I call in. I guess what I'm saying on the road games, or the world games, if we can take a home game away from another team, any team, our opponent, it's not a Lambeau game, it's a road game for us. But if we pull another team out of their home stadium, their home environment, and as far as I'm concerned, it should even the playing field. It should be a benefit to us. Any team, any of our upcoming games this year, if instead of going on the road to Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, wherever it is, and we end up in Mexico City or Toronto, Canada, or, like I said before, anywhere, I don't care. It should be an advantage, not a disadvantage. So I think anybody crying about us going overseas to play a game that we normally would be playing in Miami or San Diego, I think that's just, like I said, it's mostly we got a bad taste in our mouth from losing in Brazil. Jordan Love got hurt. That left a bigger bad taste in our mouth. Bottom line is, though, that should have been an advantage for us. We didn't have to travel to Philly. We had to travel to Brazil. Philly didn't get to play a game at home, pulled revenue out of their pocket, for one, and took their home fan base away for two. We didn't have to deal with their fans. It should have been an advantage for us. We should have easily won that game. but we messed it up, and now everybody's bent out of shape. So, I don't know if you agree with me, but I agree with me. So that's all that really matters. All right, then. Rico out.
No, I'm definitely with you. And I think that is the changing posture of the Packers, which is a good thing. And they need to embrace it. It's going to happen. I think, again, Roger Goodell is pushing toward at I don't know if it's the final goal, but let's hope it is 16 games internationally per year. What does that mean? Every team gets an international game. So, if it's something you're bad at, that's a loss every year. If it's something you're good at, it's a win every year. It's a question of home game or away game, right? Is this an advantage because it's an away an international game, or a disadvantage? Right now, it's like an away game. It's a disadvantage. We need to change that. Okay, take our final break. We got TJ from Alabama.
Hey, Ryan, TJ from Alabama, listening to your where you're going through the Bear fans, Vikings fans, Detroit fans, of how they're feeling about the schedule and so on and so on and so forth. And I am really looking forward to the Bears fans getting bitch slapped this year because hey, they had a good season. They leaked out a couple of wins against us. I can't argue any of that. But going from the schedule that they had to the schedule they're going to be, and improvement not being linear, and the high of the first Ben Johnson year and all that other stuff, I am very much looking forward to the cliff that they're going to fall off of. Detroit, hey, Detroit is a good team. They've been a good team, even with the massive amounts of injuries they've had. They've generally played competitive and things of that nature. They got an easy schedule. Hey, respect Detroit fans. I can't argue. Can't argue. I think they're gonna win a number of games, and we'll see how it goes. And then we have Minnesota, and you kind of went off on Minnesota. I kind of had a little bit of different take on Minnesota. With the Minnesota fans, in all honesty, it didn't upset me. What it made me think of, oh, that's adorable.
Yeah.
That's Vikings fans. Oh, that's just adorable. That's it. So that's where I am, Brian. Thank you. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I can see that. I think, as you could probably tell from how I was more just shocked. I just thought, not because we're the mighty Green Bay Packers, but, you sucked last year, and you got a quarterback that sucks, and the Packers are a pretty good team. I would expect similar to the Bears and Lions. It's not just a Packers thing. If you said, Lions, that's a win, week 1, I would be as confused. What are you talking about? Again, possible. I don't know. Maybe they win the division. I have no idea. There's a lot of things that could happen. But to just kind of have this attitude of we're going to be freaking dominant this year, and the rest of the NFC North is going to suck. Where is what? I don't know where that level of confidence could possibly be coming from.
Brian, how you doing? This is Nico in Idaho.
Yep.
So listening to your Tucker Craft podcast, it's awesome. It's very, very informative. Kraft is clearly an elite tight end. And I was on the Kraft bandwagon early because of his name, obviously, and I just liked how he chilled when he got drafted and drank beer with 200 people in a barn. That was kind of cool. Could you be more Packers? Nope. If he'd had some bratwurst cooking, that would have been the best. But I think given a season where he doesn't get hurt, I was going to shut a lot of people up, but not really, because the people that are smart know he's good. The people that are dumb calling him a bad, tight end, they'll double down, or they'll be really quiet. But I will say this. I was waiting for you to bring this up. You didn't. That's cool. That's why we have this call show, so we can, we can bring stuff up. For the person who said that he can't run routes like past linebackers and safeties, okay, let's just say that's true. The guy just can't get open behind a linebacker and a safety. We know that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say it's true. Well, he catches the ball the average of 5 yards down the field, and then proceeds to go another 6 yards.
Right.
So if he's not going around them and getting open behind them, he's catching the ball and driving through them.
Well, and that was kind of the point I mentioned where there's two axes here. And this is the one that shows that he's really high on the most important one. It doesn't really matter how he gets there. It's the fact that he gets there. Whether it's running past them or running through them, it's the same result. And to sit there and pretend like, oh, you don't come by your yards honorably, so I would never accept that. Like, you're just sounding like a petty idiot. You're sounding stupid. Oh, I'd rather have a good route runner than a freaking yak merchant. Why? Why would you rather have that? You're lying. You would absolutely take that. Everybody would. It's like, oh, I like when guys get touchdowns because they ran past people, not through people. Don't be like a Josh Jacobs. Be like Justin Jefferson and run routes and get open. Don't go smashing into people's faces and go through them like a little girl. You are sounding so stupid.
6 more yards. So which one do you like better? I kind of like this one better. How he just plows you over for 6 yards.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. Like, who was it? I think it was Drew bringing up how they were chanting, Packers suck at a baseball game. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And
they've done that
the
before.
Packers are in the minds of so many people.
Yeah.
So many, other, teams. And it's for a great reason because, we've been good for a long time. And it's funny. You could make a meme where it shows it could say a Packer fan when he reads about a good Bear player, and he would read it and go, oh, yeah, that's true. And then a Bears fan, when he reads about a good Packer player, he's like, oh, that's not true because we have this guy. It's like, they're just so unhinged. Clearly, we are in their brains 24/7, and it's fun to say. So, yeah. Gosh, if he has honestly, good teams, and I made this comment before we drafted Kraft, because I wanted Sternberger to be freaking Kittle. Good teams with a good tight end all of a sudden become almost impossible to stop because it's very hard to guard a good tight end. And I think we've got one now, and that boy stays healthy all year. The other guys, they can kind of come and go like they've been doing. As long as we got Tucker and 2 other dudes, right? I think we're good. So go Pack, go, and go Tuck, go.
Did you say Tuck? I think you did. I heard something else at first. That is a good point too, in terms of like our ability to just accept what is good and to the Bears' inability to do that ever. And I think you could put that to the test. Now, I will say out front, I don't think they have any blue chippers. So I'm not like effusive in my praise of anybody that they have, but I'm fine saying they have good receivers. They're not elite, but they're good. They have 2 good receivers. Their tight end is extremely good, especially considering he was a rookie. He's a guy to watch out for sure. I'm I'm fine labeling people what they are, and if they're good, then they're good, and that's fine. And I've always been. Tomorrow we're going to have a bit of a conversation about Justin Jefferson, but I have been over the years very, I'll use the word again because it's in my head, effusive in my praise of him over the years. Amon-Ra St. Brown, incredible. One of the best for years. I don't have an issue with any of this, but ask a Bears fan to list like a single very good player. Who's one guy they're willing to praise? You're right. They won't, like if you say Jordan's good, no, he's not. No, Tucker's good. No, Watson's good. They won't say anything good about Watson. They won't say anything good about Golden. They won't say anything good about anybody. Maybe we can get them to say something good about Zach Tom. And I think the only time they're willing to, being summoned here, but quickly, the only time they're willing to praise the Packers is to put down the Packers. For example, is Matt LaFleur a good coach? No. Okay, let's talk about Jordan. What about all his success? No, that was just Matt LaFleur. Oh, interesting. Okay, good to know. So, anywho, we're down to 4 calls. I know it's the weekend, and we got Memorial Day coming up. Hopefully, you have Packernet Podcast in your ears to grill out some meat and relax this weekend. Hopefully, I can join you in that in spirit. But get your calls in if you're interested. Otherwise, we'll talk to you when I talk to you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.